you should be quick to note that upon watering, some of your seeds will be exposed because of the application of water.
Michecha munina abrabia moshe Hamburg integrated farms so monkoswa enchen odo mo like videos mo share na subscribe ene okwenia ye ne no eba betwen komo ye ora Simon agbanyega oye twemi awo jwini ma che kakra ono so ne ye be che ne experience with us come to share his experience and fame fear do saying wa we jwimi mu e kwasen ma no then e da ne ni so ejumei generational idea ya passing on to him and us or no akasa ne passion and na amana abedun pempe so nyine na ebe find out as that's quick commercial break ye ba ye let ajumi di ne sema monko bia.
So upon selecting your site, getting your seeds and getting a reliable source of water, and of course you've made your decision to go into green pepper production, first thing you have to do is you make a nursery bed and nurse your seeds. It is paramount you mix your soil of the nursery bed with compost or chicken droppings. I always prepare the chicken droppings because of how effective and efficient it has worked for me over the years. Having mixed it with the soil, you have to use a hoe or any cultural tool that is at your disposal and make sure you turn very well so that you kind of have a good mixture of soil and compost or chicken droppings or any other form of manure that is available to you. This is very important because sometimes the soil might not be rich in nutrient enough to support the optimum or effective growth of your seedlings. But once you turn it with especially the chicken droppings that I have been using for the past years, it is a guarantee that you are going to get a good growth in terms of your seedlings. The seedlings are not going to waste so much time on your nursery bed. At least latest by 3-4 weeks, your seedlings will be ready for transplanting. So this is part of our farm. This is already transplanted green pepper that we are using the furrow irrigation method in irrigating it. Some of them are ready and some are still have just been transplanted about a week or two. So after mixing your nursery bed with chicken droppings, it's good you sprinkle your bed over with at least a sufficient amount of water. This is to loosen the soil more because in this our regard most of the soils is lumpy, which requires that we apply water to loosen it so that we can further use the hoe to be able to loosen the soil to the desire that we want. The desire is that to loosen it to the way that is going to support the seedlings growth. So it's good you spray with water to make it wet, then you allow it for about 5 to 10 minutes. By that time the water will sink. Then with a hoe you can use it a hoe and loosen the soil very well. So after loosening your soil, your bed is free of lumps. It's good you level the bed. The reason for leveling the bed is to prevent the situation whereby some parts of your nursery bed will be raised and some parts will be slopey. In this case, if it's raised and slopey, when you apply water, the water will move to the slopey size and leave the raised size. Then after your bed is leveled with a hoe, or you could use a stick or anything at your disposal, you rule clear out rows or lines. These lines are where you will sow your seeds. So as it's being ruled out, you rule them wide enough so that you can drop your seeds there. And once they are dropped in, it's important to remember or to note that peppers will not grow if they are not covered with soil. So that is why we are doing this. After ruling the lines, you have something like a hole where you put your seedlings in, your seeds in, then you cover them up. Like I said, if pepper seeds are not covered, they are not going to germinate. So after doing this, like I said earlier on, you drop your seeds on the rows. It's very important to do this. There are some situations whereby some people will just sprinkle their seeds over the beds, which is not advisable, in the sense that when you do this, when you apply your seeds all over your beds like that, it prevents the advantage of this method whereby the lines are ruled. Because when the lines are ruled this way, there is a free flow of air within the seedlings, and it therefore avoid unnecessary heat. Unlike the situation whereby it's sprinkled over the bed, in that case they grow up together, they don't look nice, and there's always heat and there's no free flow of air. But in this case, when they grow up, God willing, when they grow up, we will still go through and see how they are going. In that case, it grows up and there's space, there's a free flow of air that helps your seeds to germinate and to also maintain good health till it's time for transplanting. So with a stick or with a hole, you cover it up. Don't bury your seeds. You don't want your seeds to be buried. You are trying to sow them, which means even in covering them, you have to take your time, cover it gently, and make sure that it's well covered. It's not being buried. So after properly covering your seeds, you mix a required amount of insecticides with water, and you sprinkle it well over your nursery bed. This is to prevent insects like ants from carrying away your seeds. Then it's also good you water your bed very well so that you moisten it enough for the seeds to be able to germinate and give you the desired growth. You should be quick to note that upon watering, some of your seeds will be exposed because of the application of water. Like I said earlier on, pepper usually will not grow if it is not covered with sand. So in this case, after you've properly watered, it is good you look through your bed and make sure that probably with the use of a stick, you can push inside any seed that have been exposed as a result of your watering. Or better still, you can fetch sand and cover them up. Then when all your seeds are well covered, I always use grass because that is what is available to me. You use grass and you cover the entire bed to provide darkness and heat. Know that heat and darkness are recommendations for seeds to germinate. So you cover it for about 3 to 4 days and then you open it up.
And no more, I almost say, if I use no more, at the end of the day, Kakra, so being a non fertilizer, no, I do more away from me. Then no more fun to 2 years now, or more breast, and then I will put it to trap him, and my own cost our house.
Yeah, Juman Casano from the you are Corabrimuna. This artist were one to say now, obey a Juana Obenya Faso Muno, meaning the dear. So be more umunim strategy never a Juman, looking like Bassa.
But be so on my house, what you with money, but still now, scan or say, not just Namani so yes. More if you are from maybe I who say, O young coon air when it mean, which me conning chain, echo manual drink a castle, me from saying I'm a yenny, and my name Boca. Who's with me say, yeah, which me grab on horse I find it. And yeah, dear, I didn't see.
Nipanu bound, say,
One
over to me, Buan.
but so no mean twin and I'm on by or the end that is all yam what you don't buy.
Yes.
Okay, not just say, if the upper say, you could be a cooling mouth to say the cooling mouth. You also are a cell back on to me, then I will ya, would you cost me? I mean, the idea and the yam boca if I use money come to send it. Because, some time ago, many a careful devotion command, you all can say, it's one on Beja, but into my midday said, if I use one, I say cry and call ye. Because almost so first, they call you saying, my boy, I didn't see and who so, oh, you big jai. But many a careful you be as try, you come with your movie. Many more to do command before more cassette, a queen more. It's not manage my just a cassa day like then I am coffee, then no moon to come to 3 years. It's not near my cosa more.
I say, Yet also, no, one, Odiana and Koyama, but to me, I call and say, oh, Yami and Koyama. Now, Oman, Nipanam Benwa, obey the Abdua, into me, into my bassa.
Oh, Kajana Mabiamo.
Na mefa asem
Kana kuma biama ro malami kareta.
Afibiano era Ghana ban
abo amota cham
na muhase no era
yo akwani ti amota cham
no
njiwe yuta
ya bona baso area muhase
sama biama ro
David Yano agriphobia amba yenim dentina omumba
but much I say ba more if you are one mu ekuo de
yeni phobia
oh na senka jam betumi aye ekuo bi a ebia wo be hia madwendwen nyema ba ko mienu hu mo dey find solutions to your problems match your letter akọ Ministry of Agric na mo pem mo bi mo dey akoto omonim mo ntrai bibi saada na den
sepen form obia fast adwina abanti yeso e wo musa
say bia won say sometimes no e am pempin ye blame aban no but aban no so no e wo mu de so no wakoye yin na ye papa but sometimes I will say yen so any ye tu anamon bi emom hu sampa ye hia ade no ansa na omo etutu omanamon aye bibia fa even though eye omo de so ombe hwe oman so ni ade but sometimes ya so na o si etutu anamon na omehu sampa ye hia mboa na mu ni ekuo mu ni pani bia odi monim a mo betumi de letter akọ ye hia say mo befa moni hwe ya na bibi saade a ena say enye you because rasi mo wa ha say for 20 good years enti minim say mbim so ho no ma oma wo ha che asense ne awo wa wo hai na mu ni bibia saade say ebe ha adwen o
ebe haji on na ikechiri wa
generation na eba no mo na mo ye papa no ma mo di yenim se mo mo ntu sa na mo na yen ye ba den ne ye hwe so eso ade abo ye bra se ekuafo wo
Say the okano yampa. This is your mobile no. Mo na mba buai. Na bibi akoyi ama.
nti no de marking so mo so mo fa enkwa adwundwe mo hwe se mo betumi aye bibi sa na abo amo a na ora Simon se me pese mira ekwaye gu no futuo be na ade be ma me ansa na metumi ewiem.
Futuo na me de be ma oni se. Sisi ano be pe asase. Oni asase ontumi ye afuo. We pe asase ni sika. O nya asase no oni sika. Ontumi ye afuo no. Asase ni sika. Onya asase onya sika mbetumi a kire o se na ye afuo dwuma.
Wo asembi e ka chen ya pa chehwe camera nim na ka chen na ye fa dwumedi ni si.
Dembe tumi aka ni se mi ba ha che afua na mi ya asho mi ba mo school ba de ehia e wo ha ni se ye pe nyama bebre aye afuo no ehia pumping machine ehia spray machine na ehia bobo ya ye harvesting wa ha ka na ebenya free ha ko market crop ye nyaka ye kwan so enye kwan papa bia ndi esu anyama free ha ko junction ansa na edebe fuka ko market nti ama ye brewa nti ehia bua se mumbo na mupe bobo ya mai ekuafo ana na ye nyama na ye harvest yo na dia ko market easy any spray machine nyina
Ye da wasiye pa ene emra wo de amai na yenim se obi nso hwe na obeboa maye wo number ye betumi afre wo so obi pese oba beji nim de kakra hwe wo nchen obi pese oba ene wo be ye ejuma number be ne betumi afre wo
mi number na 0256 74 92 10 0256 74 92 10
Ora Simon ye da wasiye pa na ye hope say interview we ya ye de ne mapa ene beba ya akwan ye da wasiye pa ebusuafo ye de mo ebesi ahase mo nkoso a en like mo share mo subscribe na mkuso a entren odo in case you want to sponsor our program to make sure to call the number on your screen na wo mboa bi susu e de ma ekuafo yin susu a eno ane se wo be frɛ na yen susu ye ne mo edi ho komo na aso omoso fefefe kama wetumi so afro mo nso mo number no na ebia business bi a pese oni omo ye wetumi enso ne omo aye ye wo bibiara afishia pa hasi ne de mu nyina musi yakra mo